We got a lot of other issues that are brought on because victims they want to further their own agenda. The police stuff to the homeless that you guys complain and whine and sue the shit out of them for when they do it to you. But when it happens to a homeless person, you don't give two shits. You'll make excuses why we wanted it, needed it, chose it, or deserved it. And we had a day for missing and murdered Native Americans. A whole day. Well, I don't try to help find people just one day out of the year. Now, being on the homeless spectrum, you like how I put that there? Yeah. Being on the homeless spectrum, you get to meet a lot of people, different races, different skin colors, different sexual preferences. Now, I've been made fun of my entire life for being a homosexual, and it's LGBT Pride Month, right? Great. Well, LGBT Pride goes for all of us. Even if you're straight, LGBT Pride is for you. You don't have to be gay to fight for your rights or to care about somebody else's rights. But then again, I'm ashamed of the black community. I'm ashamed of the gay community for two very important reasons. They're not supporting victims. The LGBT community wants to push just the LGBT community. The black community wants to push just the black community. Got to see this thing in the newspaper this morning about how LGBT Americans hate the fucking homeless. We're taught to hate the homeless. We're taught that they're lazy. When you're disabled, your mommy helps you. When they're disabled, you tell them, just get a job. Bitch, you ain't got a job. You ain't had a job in 20 fucking years, still living under your mama's roof. Who the fuck are you to be telling anybody to get a goddamn job? You ever cut trees for a living? Didn't fucking think so. So I got to hear a lot of black people that complain that they were being targeted because they were black. I got to hear a bunch of homosexuals telling me they were being targeted because they were homosexuals. Meanwhile, both groups are being targeted by the police, and it's because they're part of a bigger group, the homeless. It's okay to be gay. It's okay not to be gay. You are a human being, whether you are a homosexual or not. Now, when you go starting to sell a false narrative because you've been selling it to yourself for fucking years, that those people who are making fun of you for being a homosexual, how the hell do they even know? They started picking on you at 5 years old, same as they started picking on me. You're gay. You're gay. No, I'm not. But I tell you what, you keep making fun of my gay friends in high school, I'll come to school wearing girls' clothes to support those individuals. And I did too. I'm not against black people, and I'm not against homosexuals. I'm not against straight people. I'm not against white people. I'm against this separation that's going on, these excuses. Why one victim is worth more than another, or another victim doesn't matter because they're not the right skin color or the right gender to be a victim. 29 million were victims of sexual assault before turning age 18. 29 million. That is not an insignificant number. At Pride Month, so now all these homeless travelers are going to talk about how horrible their lives are because they're homosexuals on the streets. No, it's because you're on the streets. It ain't because you're homosexual. We got all these black folks on the streets want to complain about how they're being victimized because they're black. No, they're being victimized because they're fucking broke. They don't have the money for a civil lawyer, and the cops fucking know it. I got a lot of people that I know and love that are dead now because of bad laws. And also because of false narratives. I don't think most of you who are homosexual understand how much people who are different are bullied over that same thing. Especially in a small town like Chapel, Nebraska. I never got along in Chapel, Nebraska for one simple reason. I stuck up for gays and I stuck up for minorities. Those are two groups you cannot stand up for in Chapel, Nebraska, or you will be hated. And guess what, folks? I'm not black, and I still fought for black rights. I'm not homosexual, and I still fought for homosexual rights, and I'm still fighting for both. I'm also fighting against the false narratives. Travelers have it tough. Not nearly as tough as somebody who can't travel. You guys got all these quick ideas in your head. They all cost money, but that doesn't register to you. It doesn't register to you because you have the money to do so. Idea about these pro bono lawyers, it's a bunch of friggin' horse shit. If you're called mentally ill, you have to have somebody in your corner, or no lawyer is going to pick up the case. That person has to be informed. Nobody is bothered to be informed. I don't blame homosexuals for the acts of certain men in my life. Those certain men didn't do the things that they did to me because they were homosexuals. They did them to me because they wanted to be dominant. There was something wrong in their lives and in their heads that made them think that taking it out on somebody that was a third their size and a little kid was somehow okay. When I was growing up, people wanted to push this narrative that if somebody is a homosexual, they must be a child molester. Homeless people get that too. But here's the thing, is that a lot of homeless people who are not gay are fighting for LGBT rights. A lot of homeless people that are not black are fighting for black rights. But who the hell's fighting ours? Who's fighting for our rights? We're not allowed. We're not human enough to your society. There is no homeless Pride Month. Where's the Day of Remembrance for the Homeless? Have you guys, any of you, ever actually observed such a thing? The homeless are victimized for many, many excuses by the public. A lot of people want to push the Republican agenda or the Democrat agenda or the liberal agenda. And when it all comes down to it, they're all wrong. When it comes down to it, it is the individual that counts. But also, we the people means that we, the people, not just one person. Although the individual does count, it's not one individual who gets to make all these decisions. We don't live in a world of one. I'm not going to stop fighting for black rights. I'm not going to stop fighting for gay rights. And no matter how many LGBT or black people tell me to go to the back of the fucking bus, that's not going to happen either. I fight for all the victims.